It's Week 9 of the National Football League, and we'll get a look here at Davis Mills. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Texans and the Eagles on Thursday night.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And remember, when he came out of college, he left early. So a lot of people weren't really paying attention to this young man, but he was entrusted with a leadership role early in his NFL career and didn't shy away from it. His goal, continue to prove that there should have been one more quarterback that went in the first round of the 2021 draft.
And right off the bat, Mills looking to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw is Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Eagles and Texans, polar opposites last year in terms of running the football. The Eagles were number 1 in the league. The Texans, 32nd, dead last. And in fact, the Eagles ran for nearly twice as many yards as the Texans did in 2021. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive to about the 40-yard line. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. A first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, they run with Burkhead. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, here's Mills. Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Shifts by him. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They run with a rookie from Florida, Dameon Pierce. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mills to throw it. And that'll be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First and 10, it's Pierce. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
That's complete to his running back, Burkhead. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. to the ground with Pierce. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mills. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. Touchdown, Texans! O.J. Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
The defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Game clock setting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. Pierce now up the middle. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Mills. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Trying to improvise. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
That's good for 28 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Oh, That's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. On the move to his left. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Play action, here's Hurts. Rolling to his left. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the Texans will take over here just shy of the 30.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Ready?
From the gun, it's Hurts. This one complete down the field to Goddard. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try to make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So here are the Texans to take over. They were winners last week over Tennessee, and they've got the lead here as well. They start this drive out 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mills.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mills able to make something out of it and pick up the first down with his legs. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now Mills. Being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Throwing on 2nd down. Hurts. Oh, Pascal able to haul that one in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night match. Back now in Houston. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. They got 29 yards that time.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do, and the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
That one goes for 24 yards.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage, and that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Throwing is Hurts. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and attempting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. On the sneak, it's Hurts, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Elliott good on the extra point, so it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So here's Mills and the Texans. Down 10-7, a minute 15 remaining. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Mills. They dial up the screen here to Burkhead. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
Well, this was just just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And this Texans defense stands tall. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. He's going to let it fly. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Philadelphia, the victory means they'll up their mark to 5-3 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.